Hello, hello.
Hi,
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. Sorry for the delay. I
Oh,
apologize.
it's okay.
I
It's fine.
appreciate you being working with me and all that. So, how's your day been?
Good.
Good, good.
Good. Yeah.
Awesome. Ayden, how we doing, brother?
Oh, amazing, dude. Just finished up work.
Nice.
Sitting
Yeah,
here at the
same.
desk, nice and relaxed.
Good deal, man. I appreciate you guys all making the time here today. Whenever Matt pops in here, give me 1 second.
Hey,
There
Fran.
he is.
Hey, there we go. How,
Matt.
how we
Always
doing?
freshly late, dude.
Hey, that's all right. You know what? It's on me today, guys. Work kind of kept me a little bit over, so I appreciate everybody being willing to work around. But
Okay.
first and foremost, thank you, Katie, for making the time to come on our podcast here today. For anyone who doesn't know, this is Katie Brown, the women's physique division pro. I messed it up on the flyer. It is not figure, so that's on me. It kind of shows my lack of attention to detail there. But Katie, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of like your journey to where you are today?
Well, it's funny you made the mistake on the flyer because I went pro about a year ago and I was just looking through some old photos and
Mhm.
I actually bought my figure video, but not my physique one.
Oh
So
my gosh.
because I was literally just like, there's no way I'll go pro in physique. I'm just way too small. But
But here you are.
here I
There you
am. The
go.
Right.
conditioning was there. Anyway,
Yes.
so I'm an online fitness coach. I got my pro card last year. I've been in fitness in some way, shape, or form for over 20 years now.
Oh wow. Okay.
So
Awesome.
a while.
Heck yeah.
So I went to college at IU and did some group fitness class coaching there, cardio
Mm.
kickboxing. It was back in the, do more cardio era. So that's where I got my start. And I did competitive CrossFit for a while,
Oh,
got out
nice.
of that. During COVID, I kind of went off the rails and gained a bunch of weight and decided, you know what, I've got to do something drastic to get my life back together. And so I hired a coach and told everybody I knew I was going to do a bodybuilding competition. And that's how I got started.
Wow. Well, that's
Heck yeah.
quite the journey. That's quite the journey.
Yeah,
So you did CrossFit. Did you do that like competitively? Did you jump into any competitions or nice?
I did. I did. Yeah, actually, it was kind of weird how I got started. I had run a couple half marathons and I
Okay.
was training for the Chicago Marathon.
Nice.
So I had started CrossFit about 6 months before that marathon. And it was kind of like the perfect storm because it was the first time I had ever lifted heavy and I was doing all this cardio. And I just kind of got really good at it really fast. And so after that, my coach was like, you should join our competition team. So I did that for a while. I didn't go as far as I had originally planned, but I did do that for years and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Especially having that background of the athletic background of being a CrossFit athlete. That's no joke for anyone who doesn't know about CrossFit. CrossFit's a very legit sport. Before I got into bodybuilding, that's something that I considered doing was CrossFit 'cause I was kind of this athletic, trying to be athletic as I could be. But ultimately went with bodybuilding and now doing classic physique competition, obviously. But yeah, Katie, that's quite the background there with CrossFit being kind of tucked in there. So I guess with that segue going from CrossFit, from competing from that range for a little while, what really brought you into bodybuilding? Was it somebody that maybe said like, "Hey, you do well, you should try to compete," or was it just one of those things where you were surfing the web, you found it, or how exactly did bodybuilding come about?
So the person I was dating at the time actually was like, you should do bodybuilding. But
Mm.
that was not the first person that had told me that. But
Right.
I was used to doing CrossFit. So I'm like, oh, bodybuilding's like so boring. I could never do that.
Which it is. It's monotonous. It's
I know.
monotonous as
And
hell,
now I
That's
right?
the
love
best
it. And
part,
now I
though.
love it. I love that.
Right.
Right. But that was kind of my thought process. So people had told me that because when I was in CrossFit, my back just came in. And one day everybody's like, oh my God, you're back. And I'm like, I know, I don't know how this happened. And it's
Right.
just so, but when I got into bodybuilding, I had much less muscle than I thought I had, obviously. It's pretty
Over
common.
time during the dieting and all that process there.
Yeah.
So then
Yeah.
with your competition, so what was your first competition? What year, what division, and what kind of like led to the inkling of getting you to where you are? Like what was that first competition? What was that like?
So I prepped 8 months for my first competition.
Same.
Wow.
I had to lose almost 55 pounds.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
That's a
That's
tough one.
incredible.
That's a
Yeah.
tough one, Katie.
Guys, I did everything like perfect to a T. I was like, I just have to. Like this is it, right?
Yeah.
And so I did my first competition in July of 2022. It was the Indianapolis Championships, I believe.
Okay. Yeah.
So for any new competitors, I want to tell this story because it'll show you how far I've come. So
We're here for it.
my first competition, I just did figure. I've always started with figure. It wasn't until I got my second coach that I started physique. So
Mhm.
the girl who I went up against in figure and beat me also won the overall in bikini.
Okay. Wow.
So the bikini girl beat me in the figure
And figure, right.
division.
That goes to
Yeah.
show the journey
Which,
that it's been.
right, which she absolutely deserved it. She just had, better stage presence, better shape, like better,
Yeah.
way better posing.
Hmm.
So
And this is kind of like a sidebar question, more or less just because I mean, as we're all coaches here, but like being new to the women's divisions to some extent, did they wear the exact same suit they wore for bikini, or did they change suits for figure, or how did
they,
that all they did? Okay, gotcha. I
yeah,
was just curious. I didn't know if they were just like, like since it's a local show, if they were just like, yeah, wear whatever, or if they had you have separate suits for it. So kind of just side tangent. I just wanted to kind of confirm, but
yes,
nice, nice.
yes, yes. So, after the first show, I was like devastated.
Ah, yeah,
But
Understandable.
yeah.
so, but then I got on the phone with the person I was dating at the time. This was his friend, and I got on the phone with him, and he had just started coaching.
Hmm.
And he gave me some really good feedback and was just like, you do not need to compete again this season. You need to reverse. You have been at prep for 8 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's a long
Not
time.
great. Not great for
That's
you.
a long, long prep.
I mean, by the end of it, I was down to 800 calories a day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's not
that's
good.
low. That's real low. Man.
Guys, I was struggling. Okay. But I mean, I was just like, I'll do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Right.
So he told me reverse, put on some muscle, come back. And then I competed in 2022, 2023,
Mhm.
2024, and then last year when I got my pro card. So I've been competing every year since. And then the next year I came back and did a show in Kentucky. I did
Mhm.
the Bluegrass Classic.
Mm. Hmm.
And I felt so much better going into the show. I had my posing
Mhm.
down. And I mean, looking back, I was still so tiny, but I felt like, oh, I was such a badass.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the night before the show, Laura Bedson had posted a photo of Amber Richardson, and she just looked like such a beast. I was like, oh my God, this girl is gonna kick my as she did, and she deserved to. I mean, yes, this is my first show too when I
First
went
show on the left all
pro.
the way to where you turn
Yeah.
pro here. Wow,
Yeah.
that's
So
pretty
you
remarkable.
yeah, I had no clue what I was doing with my posing, but yeah, I mean,
The strides are just impeccable. But this goes to
Huge
show for the
transformation.
viewers that aren't aware, like this is the difference between stepping on stage for the first time versus a seasoned veteran that knows the ins and outs of this sport. And obviously now coaching with how you are coaching and the we'll touch on that a little bit, about like how well and great you've done with your coaching as well. But this transformation alone tells you just how much hard work and dedication went into this, and the genetics as well. I mean, the genetics were really always there. I can see why your friend, who's a coach, kind of saw the potential there and just said like, hey, shut it down. But this was after 8 months of prepping and just nonstop grinding the work. That's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, I mean, the most my cardio got up to was an hour, but still, I
Okay.
mean,
Yeah.
it was just like, I think we started around 2,000 calories and it just went
Kept
Trickled,
trickling
down,
down.
trickled,
down,
trickled,
down
trickled.
for
Yeah.
8 months.
How
Yeah,
did you feel after those 8 months?
unwell.
Yeah, yeah, understandable. What was
Unwell.
probably the worst part? What was the worst part you think?
I think, honestly, I just felt so low energy and I
Hmm.
just
Hmm.
couldn't get any good sleep.
Yeah.
Just the lack of food. It was like I would go to bed starving and I would wake up starving. And I just spent every day just feeling like I was
Yeah.
starving.
Even after you eat a meal, like, especially
Yeah,
at 800 calories, I mean, that's like nothing. You know what I mean? So, I mean, even if you ate a meal, it's just like immediately hunger's just setting back in. So,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
my
tough.
breakfast now is like 800 calories.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you can imagine. Like, I mean,
Right.
the lowest my calories got in prep in 2025 was like 1750.
That's a huge
Wow.
difference.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
that
bet you
is.
felt that difference too.
Oh my God. I
Yeah.
felt
Yeah.
great. I was
Yeah.
Right.
like, this is fine. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's quite the transformation there. So with your competition history and kind of going into that show there and now leading to where you are, what is the biggest takeaway that you've had during this journey? Because I mean, looking at this transformation for 2022, 2025, still like even with this transformation being what it is, it's only 3 years, which for some this takes like a decade to gain this type of progress. For some, like this doesn't just click overnight. So what is the biggest takeaway that you've had and the most memorable experience during this process of growing and becoming a pro over this time?
Oh my gosh.
If you
Well,
could pin it to one thing. If you can't pin it to one thing, multiple's fine as well. So that's a very tough question. I think that's it's very difficult to just pin it on one thing particularly, but if there's anything that sticks out, feel free.
I think like the biggest thing really just with anything bodybuilding is just consistency.
Hmm.
Just with anything, right? And I think with training, it's finding movements you can do long term and build on and get really, really good at. I
Hmm.
think a lot of people get really hooked on like, I'm bored with this workout, or this is so boring, or, I've just been doing this forever. But I mean, I really feel like there have been times where I've done like the same workout split for well over a year
Hmm.
and gotten great results. So
Always. Yeah.
I think it's just finding what works best for you. And that's changed for me over time too, as I've gotten older. When I first started bodybuilding, I was doing like barbell back squats with 250 pounds on it. Now I won't
Hmm.
do barbell back squats.
Hmm.
I'm like on a
Right.
hack squat machine. Um, so yeah, it's just changed over time,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Finding the movements that fit for you and your physique and what really you see the most progression over, I'm sure. And like you mentioned, consistency, and you could see within your page, leading up to a show, obviously we're practicing posing, but even in your off season up there, you practice nonstop. And I think that's what it takes to become a pro. It takes that nonstop consistency and just head down and consistently working in that regard. Um, it's quite incredible here. And this is the moment that you turn pro here.
yes, and this was like that show was crazy. So number one, like I said, I really thought that there was 0% chance that I could go pro in women's physique. But my coach was just always like, you're so conditioned, you got to do it. Right. So,
Hmm.
like, sure, tell me
Yeah.
what to do, I'll do it. So, I didn't even buy the physique video. So, I was lucky that the photographer was so sweet. They did include some of my physique shots in my photo package. So, that was super nice. But I went pro. I got off stage. They did this quick interview with me. Gary Udit was back there. He's like, "Oh,
Mhm.
congratulations," and he was at that first posing clinic, right, at AMF like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was there and he was helping me pose, and I didn't know what the heck I was doing. So it was just so kind of surreal then to see him
Yeah.
right when I stepped off stage, right?
Full
He
Hmm.
did
circle
this
moment.
quick, oh, it was so weird. I was just like, this is wild. So
Mhm.
I do this interview. They're like, you got to get back up on stage right now for the overall. I'm already
Yeah.
in shock that I even got a pro card. I
Yeah.
get back up there. I won the overall.
Yeah. That's
I'm like,
incredible.
I'm
When you
like,
least expect it too, after all these years competing and consistently putting the head down and working in a division that you weren't even anticipating, and you win the overall in it. That's quite incredible.
Pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
yeah, it was awesome. It was good. And during that time in my life, I was going through a breakup from like a 5 year relationship, and I was really going through a lot. And I decided to stick with prep. I was kind of like, at that point, I'm like, this is really all I have.
Hmm.
And if I don't do it, what am I going to be doing? Just sitting around? Like,
Yeah.
I'll still be working out, but I might as well.
Just continue on the course and continue staying the course of the plan and just do it.
I'm a
Yeah.
And
head
it's
down,
never
eyes
easy.
forward. Yeah.
There's something to
Yes,
be said about having purpose and getting over hard times.
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I felt like, I stuck with it. I had faith and I was like, everything will be fine. And quite honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I was really at peace with going pro or not going pro.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes like Christy Killian wrote this once on either an Instagram post or somewhere on social media where she said, you shouldn't be in such a rush to go pro because for a lot of people, then their competition career is over,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
especially for women,
Yeah.
right? We
Yeah,
don't want
it's
to
very,
like,
very difficult for the women, and that's something that bringing you on this cast that was so prominent that I wanted to bring up as well is that the women's divisions are so much more difficult than the men's. Everything is. You have to worry about your makeup. You have to buy a certain suit. You have to do heels. You have to learn how to walk in those heels, present your physique. Only thing we got to do is put on a pair of speedos essentially and be like, all right, we're good to go. Like, that's pretty much it. And we just go out there and we go flex. Like there's a lot more into it that goes for the women's side. And I think that that's something that should be commended, over the
I
over the
do my
years.
hair, bro. Hold on now.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, I can't say that for myself, brother. I say, there's nothing going on up here, baby.
You're telling me you don't comb?
Yeah, right. But no, I mean that's the truth of it though. And there's a lot of other things that if we're gonna talk about the supplements that go into it, you have hormones that you have to balance out. There's so much that goes into it for women's divisions, and I feel like sometimes it gets overshadowed because we're all just so souped up over the big open guys when you have great athletes in wellness, you have great athletes in figure, fantastic athletes in women's physique, bikini, fit model, you name it. I mean, it's just down the line. You have great athletes that just kind of get all undermined in that regard. So yeah, you coming on the cast to kind of give us a little bit of insight on that is great. So with that said, what are your future show plans? Do you have anything scattered out for now, your first pro debut, or are you going to focus solely on coaching? What does that look like for you moving forward?
I definitely want to do a pro debut, like 100%. I
Yeah.
actually even thought about doing it this year.
Okay. Yeah.
Just randomly because I had cut down for an event and then we were just kind of reversing and everything was going really well. My coach was like, oh, like you could probably, like, we could probably jump into prep if you wanted to do a pro debut. But this is kind of my thing. Like, yes, like I feel the women's divisions are getting so competitive, especially figure and women's physique.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like sometimes some of those figure girls are even more muscular than the physique.
Than the physique, yeah. I've noticed that across the board as well, especially with, I mean, even with conditioning, I think that conditioning, like physique's always been kind of the separate trademark due to the conditioning, but you see figure and figure, they look absolutely diced and insane now. So there's very much, the line's becoming slightly blurred. I mean, I think women's physique, you have a bit more of a muscular build before stepping obviously into that women's bodybuilding range, but women's figure has a little bit more shape to it. So I think you could argue that, but the line is very blurred to just an untrained eye and somebody that isn't as aware as the divisions as well. So
Yeah, I
it's
totally agree.
very difficult to try to decide. So are you debating on figure or women's physique, or which one are you kind of leaning towards?
I'll do figure, I
You'll do
think.
figure, yeah.
That's what I'm thinking right now. I really love the figure division. I
Mhm.
think that based on judges' feedback, that's more the division I would want to build towards. Also, when it comes to competing at the pro level, it's like I don't know if I'll ever be ready because I don't want to take as many supplements or
Yeah.
really even put on as much muscle as it would really take to be competitive.
Right.
Hmm.
Especially in women's physique, right? As we were kind of discussing. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
definitely.
So, and at this point, I'm kind of thinking about like what I just personally want to build too,
Yeah.
like just for, vanity. So,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. Well, you have to
Self-fulfillment's
consider.
part of this.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you have to
right.
consider, I mean, this is
Yeah.
your journey, your career, and your staple from 2022, where we just looked at the photos to now, like it's inspirational to see the transformation that you've done there. But that alone, like, goes to show that like there's levels to this, there's so many different levels to this. And as you continue to progress, you'll find where you're lying. And I think that figure would be a great division for the pro league for you to step into for the a debut. So we'll all be rooting for you for sure, and that's very exciting. So
Damn right.
whether it's this year or next year, we'll be keeping an eye out for Katie Brown to be stepping on stage here for sure.
Hmm.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you.
most
Yeah, I think we're
definitely.
definitely going to shoot for next year. So,
Hmm.
Nice,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, there's no
Um,
rush with that. Yeah.
definitely not, definitely. And
I
then
know. I'm having a good time right now, honestly. Like this, like right now, I'm good where I'm at. I feel like, I'm putting on good muscle and I'm
mm,
eating plenty of food. I feel really good.
Get
And
to enjoy training, stuff like
yes,
that. Yeah.
yeah,
yes, training is so fun right now.
Hmm.
yeah.
And I love the gym I go to. It's so well, Matt knows too. Isaiah, you go there. You
Oh yeah,
go to
love.
our gym too.
Yes, I do.
I
Peak.
He's at
I
odd
feel like
time.
see, I don't know.
I'm
Everybody has a
incognito.
great time. Yes, you
You
are
Incognito.
definitely could
incognito.
not pick me out in a crowd for any reason whatsoever.
Well, now I'll know who you are,
Let's
but
say
Yeah,
we'll be on the lookout for you.
yeah.
yeah, but I mean, the gym is just so great and everybody there is so awesome. And I just feel like the atmosphere is good. And it's just like, we have that posing room. It's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah,
it's
which
just
by the way,
fun.
you'll have to send me the message to the code for because I forget the code. I knew it all prep, but I forgot the code into my off season. So
I don't know it, so I
someone's got to
just
send
speak
it
it.
to me. Matt, I
I
know
will
You guys
send
you.
you
deserve the
guys the
code.
code.
Yeah, maybe.
Code to the posing room.
Yeah, you guys got the code. You guys have to pass it along to me. But no, kind of stepping into this is kind of a good point to kind of bring up your coaching, as you mentioned. I was like very impressed. I was at the show with another athlete. I was very impressed with this particular showing that you did at
Yeah.
the Indiana Muscle with, I believe this is Christy, correct?
Yes,
Why don't you go ahead and walk us through Christy? I know that we have it all right here, but go ahead and just kind of tell us a little bit about Christy and her journey because I was taken by it. Whenever I saw this post online, I was like, my God, the work that they put in was impeccable. You would never have been able to guess that this was a 10-week prep. But please go ahead and tell us a little bit about it.
she is so amazing. So she was actually referred to me by somebody, and she was going to hire like a nutritionist and then another coach and somebody for posing and like all this stuff, right? She really like had never done a show and had no clue what she was doing. And she had already registered for it.
Yeah.
She was going to do it no matter what, okay? And I truly believe that when I got on the phone with her. So look, I know a lot of coaches will probably be like, this is crazy. Like, you shouldn't let somebody get on stage and do that. Like I get like all the reasons for that, but look, I
Mm.
always trust my intuition and I had a really good feeling and I knew she was going to do it no matter what. And I was like, I want to help you. And she did amazing. She
Yeah,
did everything perfect. And even now, I'm not kidding you, in her reverse, she is nailing it, like better than seasoned athletes that I've seen.
nice.
I mean, she is just like 100% locked in, and we're aiming for a November show, the November Natural show.
Oh, okay,
So,
nice. So
yeah,
we'll be seeing her there as well, then I assume.
yes.
Very cool. Very
And
cool.
she is like in this really good reverse recomp phase. She looks
Hmm.
phenomenal. And I mean, she's just so locked in. I mean, and this
Yeah,
is a mom, two young kids, and
yeah,
she just, I said, look, if you want to get on stage, you got to do every single thing I tell you
yeah.
from here on out.
I mean,
Like,
this chart is absurd. 3 months, 3 months. Look at that. That is crazy to see. And, that's just, it goes to show whenever you put your head down and just do the work and trust the process, what can be done. And this was again, guys, I mean, I can't stress this enough. A 10-week prep is quite incredible to really pull this off and bring the package that you guys did. So, yeah, that's quite awesome. And is this your first coaching client, or have you been coaching for a while? And then tell us a little bit more about like your coaching and what all you've provided here.
sure. So I was an in-person personal trainer for a long time. And then when COVID hit, I lost like 90% of my business.
Mm,
And then the gym I worked at closed. So
man,
I was like,
that's tough.
well, what are we going to do here?
Right.
So I worked an office job for about a year and
Mm,
felt like I had lost my soul. I was just like, man, I really miss training people. I really miss coaching.
yeah.
So I found somebody on Instagram who was like living the life I wanted. And I reached out and I said, how did you do this? And she said, I'll show you how to set it up. I'll show you how to do everything. Here's the price. So I scrounged, I came up with every last penny. I sent it to her. I was like, it's sink or swim, baby. We got to do this, right? So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I knew how to coach,
Of course. Yeah, yeah.
setting
Especially over the years of experience that you've had with personal training and all that. But taking that experience there and now implementing it to an online setting, it's very different. Very different for a lot of people that don't know that transition.
right, right. But I'll be honest, people get way better results.
Hmm. I
Way
agree.
absolutely.
I agree. Well, I think with in-person training, and this is just what I've noticed working in a gym setting prior to where I work now, and what I've noticed with in-person training is that you can write them the meal plan all you want, but they're coming to work out with you because they paid whatever price it is. They're coming to train with you, and it almost feels like a validation of like, oh, okay, I can eat off plan now, or I can go do this with my diet. I can flex a little bit here or there. And you don't see that online, I feel like, because you have one check in a week, typically, maybe a couple if you're in prep, obviously. You have one check in a week, and it's going to be like, I missed this, this, and this. And then, like, well, then we're not going to change much because you missed this, this, and this. Like, you're making my job difficult to change anything. So I'm not going to change much for you. And so we nailed this for a singular week. Give me a singular week on plan, and then we can make some changes. And people feel like there's a bit more commitment in that regard. I feel like, and obviously price varies as well. If you're only charging like $30, people are like, oh, well, that's a McDonald's meal. Screw it, I don't care.
Yeah.
Versus you're paying upwards of, I don't know, anywhere between, let's call it $200 to $500 a month. You're going to be a little bit more invested, obviously. And I feel like with online coaching, that's kind of what's transcended this whole fitness landscape for us.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And
Mm.
I really think like what you said, like that financial investment, like that
Mm.
really does create the energetic shift
Yeah,
for a lot of people.
definitely.
Absolutely. The more you invest, the more you're going to be willing to actually put yourself into what you're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And a lot of people have never spent money on themselves that way,
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
especially women.
Yes.
yeah.
I find like I work with mostly women, so
Hmm.
Hmm.
you know, that's a big step for a lot of people
Yeah.
and it's really powerful. But yes,
It
you're
is.
right. The accountability, the being, I don't tell people by any means like I'm available 24/7 because like that's insane. Nobody is
Yeah.
available 24/7.
Right.
But
Right.
just, being able to communicate freely,
Mhm.
making sure people never feel like a burden, like they're always taken care of.
Yes.
That support goes a long way. And I think when that's like the norm versus like, oh, I see you in person, like I never
Mhm.
really had like communication outside of the gym with
No.
my in-person clients.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you really don't, unless it's about payment information, like, hey, your card declined. I'll see you whenever you come in on Tuesday.
I
We'll get
love to
that
hear
figured out.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. But that's like really the only, like you're exactly what you're saying. The only real interaction you're going to have during in-person training is while you're training. Otherwise, you don't hear from them. Versus online, as you're saying, you kind of build a little bit more rapport that way, and you build a bit more, I don't know, camaraderie between the coach and the client. I think that having that communication, open line of communication, even if it's just to be like, "Hey, man, today sucked." Like, "Hey, I'm happy getting that text 10 times out of 10." Like I'm happy getting that text versus not saying anything, eating off plan, then coming to Saturday check-ins like, "Oh well, I missed this, this, and this, and it just was a sucky week." Like I'd rather have that conversation in real time. And I think that's something that with in-person training that skill, that not skill per se, but that availability lacks for sure.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I think
Mhm.
that support is so important because really, when you're trying to build new habits, it's really
Mhm.
just minute to minute decisions,
Yeah,
you
definitely.
And if
Right.
you can check in and say, hey, I'm struggling,
You can
you
have
know,
that real conversation, and like just be real and open with somebody. And that's sometimes all it takes for something to switch in the head to be like, okay, well, they're human too. Like they've been through this. So like now that I've related with them, let's hammer it home. Let's just do it.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
10 times out of 10, you're probably going to feel better after doing that as well. Just
Mm-hmm.
following the plan and just going to a T, and the
Yeah.
results will come after. So, yeah, that's a great perspective that I'd even to even compute whenever I was thinking about in person versus online training in that regard. So how
Yeah.
long did you do in person training for, Katie?
oh, gosh. Well, 4 years
4 years.
before switching clothes. Yeah.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, but in college I did like some cardio kickboxing classes and I did
Hmm.
like a couple like a little bit of one-on-one, but it
Hmm.
was mostly just like step aerobics.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
When I was a little kid, my mom taught step aerobics, and that was like my intro into fitness. And then when I
Hmm.
got into college, they were like, nobody wants to teach these step classes anymore. I was like, oh, I'll teach step.
Yeah, no problem. I'll do it. Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm aging myself a bit there. I don't think that even exists anymore, but
I mean, it's got to still exist if there's like you can swing from like a rope and it considered to be exercise anymore with these classes. So like that's you got something. You got at least you get your steps in that way. So well, good deal. Well, Katie, with that said, I always like to kind of close the cast or go to our closing segment on men's open bodybuilding. I'm sure you're very familiar with men's open. Just kind of it's the big draw, the attraction. So we want to get your top five Mr. O predictions for the men's open bodybuilding.
Well,
Um,
I've got questions too.
oh, Matt, drop your
Don't
question.
worry about
My
me.
Like,
bad,
let
my
me
bad.
hop in,
Yeah,
bro.
my bad. I
No,
kind of pushed you guys off. All right,
no.
Matt. Let's.
So what's happened is like you get into such a flow, and I'm like, we're letting it ride. But I'm like throwing
Yeah, you have
questions
to stop
along the
that
way.
flow, right?
Nah, dude, you're in
Um,
flow state. We can't stop you.
No,
so
dude.
like
Yeah, you guys
I
got
am gonna
questions.
like kind of go back a little bit in our conversation, but I wanted to ask because like you obviously have stuck with bodybuilding and you have done so well in it. And this is my own personal theory. So I had a question because you also mentioned that you were devastated after that first show loss.
oh yeah.
And I wanted to ask, do you feel as if you gained anything from that loss? Or do you feel as if you would have been as hungry to improve had you eventually maybe won as opposed to a
Hmm.
loss?
What's up, guys? It's Isaiah here with Anomalix. Please go ahead and drop a like, comment, subscribe on the video. I greatly appreciate it, as well as share with your friends and family as we're trying to grow the Keep Working podcast. But I wanted to get on here and show you guys a couple of the awesome products they have here at Anomalix now that I'm partnered with them, where you can use code Isaiah at checkout to save on some great products. So first and foremost, they have the EAAs. These are great for intra workout as well as just trying to stay hydrated on a hot summer day, which, as you guys know, here in Indiana, it gets pretty toasty during the summer. We have pump products where if you don't want to use that caffeine, you want to kind of keep it a very clean, great pre-workout to use. Pump is fantastic, as well as the pre-workout they have here, both in Rocket Pop flavor. The flavor is phenomenal. Pre-workout has about 300 milligrams of caffeine in it, and it really sparks ignition really for you to get going during your training days, as well as recovery with the creatine monohydrate, a very clean, clinically based formula for you and your gains. Again, code Isaiah at checkout can save you money. Please drop a like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. And thank you again so much for watching the Keep Working podcast. Now let's get you back to the video.
Great question,
Great
Matt.
question.
That's a great
Matt,
question.
let's fucking go, dude. That's what I'm
Yes,
talking
that was
about.
so
That's what I'm talking about. Good stuff,
No,
dude.
I mean, you know the answer. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, yeah, I was devastated. I was like, oh my God. Because I think usually when you go into your first show, you really have high hopes. You've never competed before and you just think like, oh, I could win this.
Yeah, the hopes
Yeah.
are almost too high. You literally think like you're gonna be an IFBB pro within your first show.
Well, because
Yeah, right.
you work so hard, and it's typically like one of the more harder experiences someone has gone through in their life, right? You
Yes.
feel as if like you're almost bound to like do well because you're like, how could I have not done well? I worked this hard.
This is the hardest I've ever worked in my life. How could I not win?
Yeah,
Well, and in
exactly.
theory, I mean, that may be your
Months.
toughest prep,
Yeah.
your first
Hmm.
prep,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because, you think if you put on more muscle, like your next prep shouldn't be as rough. Mine weren't anyway after
Mhm.
that, but,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I was kind of like pissed, I
Mhm.
was like, man, but I mean, it was obvious. Like, I mean, to me, I think at first everybody looks at those stage shots or their comparisons, right? And they're like, I look way better. I
Yeah.
should have placed higher, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
it's normal. It's just like normal for being a new competitor. I
Yeah.
mean, that's just what everybody does, right? But
Hmm.
then
Well,
you grow a
even
little.
seasoned and veteran competitors, that's very, very common. You know,
Okay.
when you first come
Yeah.
off the stage, you're like, man, like you look at the shots, you're like, I just don't understand, don't get it. It takes maybe even a couple weeks to a month to remove yourself from the experience and look back and be like, oh, okay, like I now see what the judges were seeing, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it's very, very difficult in real time to be like I've been very much in that same boat. You know, I've even mouthed off to myself a couple times, like, oh, there's just no way. They're way off. There's no way. And then the competitor that beat me walk behind me, hey man, you're great. You know, it's like real casual, you know. I'll quickly patch up my little sorrowful, self-talk. But yeah, no, it's very, very real. I think anybody that has an ounce of competition or competitive nature in their body will feel that way, you know.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, when I was done competing, of course, my coach now, he had reached out and he was like, I saw that you competed. Like, can we get on a call? Do you want to talk? Can I give you some feedback? And he was just very brutally honest with me. And he was like, but I think you have like a good future in this sport. He's like, I think you have a lot of potential. I think you could be really good at this. But you can't compete again this year and you have to, get much better at posing. You have to,
Mm.
we have to put on some good solid muscle. And so honestly, like after that, I think, I ended up hiring him and then right away like changes my meal plan, gives me more food. So right away I'm just like, oh my God, I feel so great.
Yeah, immediately I can
Like
imagine.
life is good. I love this man. But I've been with him ever since. But I think it was, I think him taking a special interest in me gave me hope again,
Yeah.
that like I could do it. Cause I mean, I was pretty crushed. accomplished.
Oh, I can imagine.
You
Yeah, especially
know,
first show and the hopes are high. Do you think that if you didn't have him reach out to you at that period of time, do you think you would have competed again? Do you think that you would have kept running a gauntlet that season, just trying to keep competing? Or do you think that that experience was just so, impactful that you would have said, screw it, I'm done?
I don't think I would have quit because I knew what it felt like to not continue competing in CrossFit. And that always felt kind of like bad to me that I didn't keep going with that.
Yeah.
But realistically, like I just kind of had a weird experience at a gym here, and I just kind of like lost my love for the sport, and it was really hard on my body.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's very, very,
I mean,
very
like I'm
difficult.
still struggling with
Mhm.
stuff from my CrossFit days, right? So
Yeah.
I think I would have kept doing it because in my mind I was like, I wanted to do something. I've always been an athlete. I wanted to do something, and I was like, this is something I could have some longevity in.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's always evolving. There's like no, like, for most people, you're not going to like win the Olympia, right? So there's no
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
stopping point, right? There's
Right.
no,
You can
oh
continue
yeah,
to keep trucking along, and still have that fire and that fuel in the back of your head that even if it's not an Olympia win, it might just be, like a pro show win or like getting an invitation to an Arnold or like a private show, whatever it might be. Like just those goals leading up to obviously the big one being the Olympia, but like you can have these milestones along the way and appreciate the journey along the way as well. I feel like that's something that's
yeah.
been voiced as of late that I'm loving on social media is enjoying the amateur career for what it is because like you were saying and as Christy had mentioned like a lot of people's pro careers die right there when they go pro.
Well,
um
and when you're competing at these regional shows, you're competing with your friends. And I mean, you
yeah.
might do that at a national show too, but
Mm,
it's just like a different vibe,
definitely.
It's like,
There's a lot more pressure. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Sometimes the path is the destination.
Hmm.
You guys got some bars,
The
dude.
man
I'm
who
telling
loves
you,
walking.
these two are just crazy. I don't know. I don't got quotes like that. You're never gonna catch me saying anything like that. You'll get me saying like the shit will flush down the fucking pipe. Like that's all I'm gonna have. You guys are fucking killing it. So I love it, man.
I
That's
wanted to ask Katie because after that first show and that coach that reached out to you was like, "Yeah, I see the potential in you. I think you have a bright future." Did you see the potential as well, or were you like, "Fuck it, I believe him, and we're gonna find out"? Or how did you feel at that moment?
I mean, I knew deep down, like intuitively, I felt like this all aligned very well with just who I am as a person. Like
mm,
bodybuilding, like, and I write about this a lot on my Instagram, but like just this way of living, this structure, like the training, the nutrition, it just works well with who I am. I don't know how
mhm.
to explain it, but it just aligns really well.
Yeah.
Feels right.
Feel like it's who I am. So it was so easy to just kind of fall in line with it. And so I think deep down, like I knew, but I didn't know what I could do with it. I did just
Mhm.
believe him. I was just like, okay, well, we'll see.
Yeah. Kind of
I,
just go for the journey.
I mean, the only thing that can happen is I get better.
Yeah,
That's fair,
exactly. Very true.
right?
So might as well just continue, right?
Sure.
Yeah,
I don't know.
most definitely.
Then I also wanted to ask, what has been the biggest challenge in your bodybuilding career? And that could be as simple as like training, or like it could be like the mental strength it requires to go through prep or such and such, or the consistency aspect. What do you think has challenged you the most?
That's a good question. To be 100% honest, I think it's just for me. I don't think like bodybuilding itself has been really much of a struggle because it does feel so aligned with who I am. But what I have learned is that you really have to audit who is in your circle. like your
Mhm.
close personal circle, who you're taking advice from, right? Like if I'm in prep, you will never hear me asking another single person one question about my
Yeah.
prep or what their advice is or what they
Mhm.
think. It is me and my coach, right?
Yeah.
So, and I think that just goes for like anybody, like for me, it's been learning who to let in that close personal circle that's really going to be there to support you and that wants to see you do good.
Mhm.
Um, I think for me, that's been the biggest struggle, really, because I just like, I give everybody the benefit of the doubt, right? So you just, I mean, and I do believe the best in people. So
Yeah.
I think it's just, you have to be picky about who you give your energy to.
Definitely.
Make sure you're showing up for yourself first. And, because if you're not taking care of yourself, you're not really going to be much use to anybody else. And
Yeah.
And I love what I do. I love coaching so much. But I mean, you guys know you have to show up as your best self for these people. They are
Yeah.
your family, that you care about them. You build
Yeah.
relationships with
They're
them.
relying on you to be,
Yes.
if you're not in the 100% great mindset or like in at least a capable mindset of being able to give your best to them, then there's no if buts to it. I mean, at that point, you're not being the best coach that you can be. I think that
Yes.
you have to take care of your own personal, circle, habits, whatever it might be, in order to provide for them as well. So that's a great answer. Yeah, you have to have your circle in the right state for sure.
Yeah.
And as
Yeah.
you mentioned, it's difficult with having because I mean, especially us four here on this panel here, like we all have, I would say, pretty big hearts. We all are very open. And I think that that's something that kind of comes along with coaching as well. You do want to look for the best in somebody. We want to believe, you want to have like all this faith in them, but you also have to understand that not everybody's going to have that same big open heart that you do, and not everyone's going to have that same like mindset that you do as well. So you kind of have to be on guard a bit, but also understand that there are good people out there too, that want the best and that want to be in your corner and support and root for you, but you have to be very, very picky and decipher those. And it's very difficult at times.
And I think that goes too for like when you're a coach, right? And
Yeah.
you're finding the right clients for you.
Hmm.
Because, for me personally, I've really shifted a lot from like focusing so much on fat loss to like more mu women that want to build muscle. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like, I think when you first start coaching, you're kind of like, oh, like I'll coach anybody, and then you coach for a while and you're like,
No.
Hell no.
Yeah, I
We've
will
got so
not
many
coach
different
anybody.
approaches. It's
Yeah.
like you can't have a tool belt that's wrapping around three waists. You only got
Sure
one
don't.
waist, so you got to use the tools you have.
Hmm.
exactly,
Yeah.
precisely, precisely. And so it's like, you learn over the years, it's just part of
Yeah.
life who you want to give and spend your energy
Hmm.
on and who's reciprocating that, right? Because like also I don't want to work with clients that don't care.
Yeah, they don't care, don't want to make that
Yeah,
progress as well. If you're caring about their progress more than they're caring about their own progress, then I mean, what are we doing? We're running in
exactly.
circles. It's just you're not gonna get where you want to go. So, and that's a great point, Aiden, as well, and kind of what you were mentioning on Katie, having the client rapport that truly matches you and your coaching style. I think that that's huge, because I mean, at the end of the day, you can have a Rolodex full of clients, but if over half of them don't mesh well, or like don't understand your philosophies or don't agree with them, you're gonna be just churning away and having just tons of just disgruntlement, across the board, even in your own life. So like you need to manage that, understand which clients you're going to flow with, which clients you aren't, and kind of make that choice going forward with new clients that you're bringing on, especially from the coaching standpoint. But that goes for life in general, obviously, too, and like who you have in your circle. But I think for coaching, that's a great point that you two brought up there.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
coaching specificity as well, just finding a target group that you really want to help
Hmm.
and using the tools you have available to help them. The jack of all trades is the master of none. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to find your niche, and just, yeah. I mean, and that evolves over time too.
Yeah.
mhm.
I
Definitely.
mean, yeah.
Heck yeah. Aiden, Matt, you guys got anything extra to tack on? You guys both hit some great questions, by the way. So thank you
Yeah,
both.
yeah. I only have one more question. My question is, getting to a distinct high level at something, it takes a lot of sacrifice, it takes a lot of work, it takes time, effort, everything you could put into an adjective form, right? Any kind of description. It's hard.
Yeah.
So, what do you find are the traits, values, and like, I guess more so than anything else, daily habits? Oh,
Oh, I wonder if he glitched out.
We lost him, dude.
If he did, but he was on to a great point. I think
Dude,
his
dude, my
laptop
computer
died.
died.
Yeah, I must say
I knew
laptop
it was gonna
died.
happen, so I already had my phone in backup.
I
So
love that, dude.
finishing the
Look at
question,
the transition was great, bro. That was great. Great
finishing the
recovery.
question.
Yeah, dude.
So
That's what's up.
basically, with all the things I just said there, and they got so rudely cut off by my damn laptop from 2013.
These
Um,
electronics, man, fuck them.
yeah, for real. What do you find are the daily habits that allowed you to find success in bodybuilding and in coaching, realistically speaking, because you've built yourself a well-rounded, well-oiled machine in coaching as well. What do you find are your daily habits that allow you the most inept ability to succeed?
Oh gosh, it's just really a lot of boring, basic things, it's just I eat the food I'm supposed to eat at the time I'm supposed to eat it.
You
I
train on a consistent basis to in the exact same setting each day as well. You know what machines you're going after. That's probably a big portion of it.
I mean, I'm willing to do the boring things over and over, and I think that's all just like a mindset, right? You can be like, this is a burden, this is boring, this sucks, it's whatever. Or for me, I'm like, I love knowing exactly what I'm doing, what order I'm doing it in, what weight I did last time,
Yep.
what I need to shoot for this time. It's really just, and I think too, especially like when you're a coach, you have to lead by example.
Hmm.
So, sometimes I see, and these aren't people I know. I belong to like several different like online coaching Facebook groups and different things where people will come on and be like, oh, like my coaching business isn't doing great and this isn't
Hmm.
going so good and blah, 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 right? All this stuff. But it's like, you can't really expect your clients to show up 100% if you're
Yeah,
not showing up 100%.
straight
So
up.
basically, everything that I'm asking them to do, I feel like that's just integrity. Like you have to show up and do it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
It's
it's
kind of like
like,
a rule of thumb. Like you would never ask somebody to do something that you're not willing to do. That's something that I've addressed with my clients, and sometimes they'll be like, really? Like that amount of cardio? I'm like, I've done it. Like I promise you, like I'm not just writing it down for willy-nilly. Like I promise you, it's being transparent with them is really difficult for some people. So I think that's a great point. You have to be willing to show up day in, day out, do your own work so you can provide the proof of the pudding to your clients.
and you will never see me give somebody like a workout I wouldn't do. You
Yeah.
know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like, of
Right.
course, it's going to be based on somebody's ability level. I
Yeah.
mean,
Right.
like obviously, but even when I taught CrossFit style classes at Lifetime Fitness, I would
Shout
never
out.
them uh what? Oh, sorry, my
I said shout out.
oh
Shout out Lifetime.
um I wouldn't even give them a workout that I hadn't tested.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, so I just think it's really just, showing up every day. And with my business, it's just like as a coach, you just really have to care about people, and
Yep.
I have a master's in social work, so I've always been a helper.
Yeah.
So it's like I feel like, you got to show up for yourself so you can help other people and you have to lead by example. So it's
Mhm.
just doing the boring things over and over and over forever.
And the people need to hear that. That's the thing. There's no glorification in these immaculate transformations, right? Nobody
Hmm.
sees what goes on in the background.
Yeah.
It's at the end of the day, it's years and years of doing things over and over again, limiting the choices you have. Because I also feel like that's a big problem. Is there's an
What?
illusion of choice nowadays, right?
Yeah. Right.
Everybody's crippled by the fact that they could do 1,000 things. They could do,
Yeah.
I mean, even in fitness, you can do high rocks, you can do CrossFit, you can do marathon running, you can do bodybuilding, or
Yeah.
you can just do things consistently, right?
Yeah.
So just doing the same things over and over again, that's an absolutely great point, and so many people need to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, and just like, yeah, and getting to a place with your nutrition too, where you literally aren't just like so hung up on food. Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
but for years, I was just like, that was like my thing I looked forward to. It was like, oh, at lunch, we're going to order Jimmy John's and
Hmm.
Yeah.
Domino's pizza. And it's like so exciting. And now it's just like,
Well, it's like
It almost.
it's emotionally provocative food
yeah,
is to our
Hmm.
culture in the United States, right? So having the ability to disconnect from that and realize, because a lot of the times we make social connections based on food.
Yeah.
So if you can separate yourself from that and just realize that, hey, maybe it's nice to just be around other human beings and just
Yeah.
talk to them and not stuff my face full of Papa
right.
John's. Like it's a
Yeah.
good thing,
It is really, and it takes time. But I mean,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
practice.
that's another thing. It's just like my grocery list is the same every week. You know how much
Yeah.
decision fatigue that takes out of the equation? And when I'm just trying to decide what to eat, it's like
Yes.
you get
Yeah.
chicken and rice or you get a sandwich.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
And
Eliminating those choices.
it's financially useful too. You know exactly what you're going to spend pretty much.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
That's a
yeah.
great point.
Yeah. Nothing crazy, just
Consistency.
yeah, every day.
Name of the game.
I
Mhm.
love
My
it.
last question was going to be from the start of your bodybuilding journey to now, how do you feel like you've changed as a person? Or how do you feel like you're different? Or how's
Oh
your
my
mindset
God.
changed?
That's such a great question. I'm a completely different person, like a million percent. I'm glad you bring this up because I just want to touch on this because I feel like somebody is going to need to hear this. Like, I went through 5 years of a really bad relationship, and I'm not saying I deserved any of that, but I was the type of person who would attract that sort of circumstance into my life. I had a lot of work to do on myself.
Hmm.
And bodybuilding really kind of saved my life because it got me focused back on me.
Hmm.
It put it all on me. If the workout's not getting done, it's my fault. If I'm not getting my food in, that's my fault. If I'm not drinking my water, that's on me.
Yeah.
So it really forced me to change everything I was doing, how I was coping with things. Before I got into bodybuilding, I was drinking a lot, like a lot during COVID.
Hmm.
And you can't drink when you're in prep. So 8 months completely sober, that'll get you to quit drinking. So,
Hmm.
I mean, and now, I don't really ever even think about it,
Yeah.
and I mean, I'm just like if that girl now could see me, she'd be like,
Like
"What?"
what? Like what's going
Yeah.
on?
Well,
Like I'm just completely different. I'm just a better person. I just understand a lot more about life in general, and I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot the hard way, but I think having that structure to always come back to has been a lifesaver more than once. So I've changed completely. I'm just like, yeah, like I feel like I just keep getting, I think like in bodybuilding, it's like you just keep getting better. And that's how I feel like life just keeps getting better.
Yeah.
So it's like just do bodybuilding and your life will just continue to get
yeah,
better.
everybody
Yeah.
just do bodybuilding.
There
Right?
you go. You
Yeah.
heard it
Yeah.
first.
It's no, it's a great answer. And I always like to ask that because as I've gone through my own career, done this for a fair bit of time. I've viewed bodybuilding differently as the years have gone on after you've done it for X amount of years, because you start off and it's a little fresh and new, and you can look at it simply as, oh, I'm getting muscular and jacked and shredded, and that's super cool. But I find that there's far deeper meaning to it if you decide to look for it. And I find that it can sometimes attract the wrong people, but
Mm.
I find that it can also attract the ones who really gain a lot from it. And I've found that the competitors that last tend to view it a little more deeply than just burning muscle or burning fat and gaining muscle and being that jacked shredded guy or gal at the gym.
Mm.
You're so right. I
Mhm.
could not agree more. Yeah, you're right. It's much deeper than that, for sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Nice.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. That's awesome. I
No,
almost feel
that's
like it's like redundant for me to ask about the top five now because those are just like great answers. I feel like the top five is just like stupid for me to ask of now. Um,
Well, actually, I can say this. So when I saw that question, right,
yeah.
I was like, oh my God, because listen, I don't even know who to say.
Okay. All right.
Literally. So I actually I don't follow like a ton of high level, like super famous bodybuilders, but I
Mhm.
will follow like every single local person, like
That's
Yeah.
them on, be in their DMs, like, go girl.
Supporting the small business owners.
that is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
I can tell you more about like who's competing locally, you
Than
know.
like the big dogs up top.
That's kind of awesome,
That's
though. I
pretty
can't
sick. I
lie.
can't lie. That's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
I
I
love
mean,
that.
that's just like more where my focus is because I'm like, I mean, all that stuff is cool, but I mean, I'd rather go to like a local show and cheer on
Yeah.
my friends or people I know or people that I've been watching,
Yeah, in the gym training, that like you've actually met that person and made that connection
Yeah.
with. That's a great, awesome. That's a great, honestly. I think we should boycott the Olympia. Honestly, we should start,
Yeah. Just go to local shows.
hey,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Well, at that rate, Katie, do you have any sort of I'm not too sure do you have supplement sponsors or no? I'm not too sure if you work with anybody directly or no.
Clinical Labs, KDB for
Okay,
Yeah.
Clinical Labs, very
yeah.
nice. You can buy supplements through there. And yeah, we greatly appreciate you coming on the cast today. So,
Oh my
uh,
gosh, thank you so much for having me. This
yeah,
is
Hey, of
most definitely.
course.
This was awesome.
It's a
If you made
pleasure.
it to this point in the cast, we always like to have you drop a like, comment, subscribe. If you're gonna like for nothing else, like the fact that Ayden was like quick as shit to go from the laptop to the phone,
Dude, I
ready.
was
Like
ready to go. I
the
had that
freeze
shit
frame was
propped
literally
up.
you right there, just like boom, just like launch right in
it
on
was
it.
impressive, really. That
It
was
was. It
turnaround.
was.
Oh
But
shit.
yeah, go ahead, drop a like, comment, subscribe. Please go follow Katie and her coaching if you're interested, and then also Clinical Labs. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, please keep working. Get it done. All
Peace.
right. Thank you
Thank you,
guys
guys.
so much for hopping
Thank you for
on.
coming
We'll
on. We
catch you
appreciate
on the
it.
next cast.
Beautiful. Thank you, Katie.
Thank you.
Yeah. See y'all later.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Yeah.